CES 2021. So many good games unveiled by Arcade1up. How many of those games actually lived up to the hints by John D? We're going to take a look at that right after this. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe and stay tuned. This is just one part of many that we're going to look at the new games for. So stay tuned. All right, like I mentioned, this is a special CES 2021 edition of Psycho Gamer, where we are going to discuss the Arcade1up games that were freshly announced today. Are we going to go in depth on every single one? No, but we are going to touch on each one because there are 8 of these bad boys to go into. Technically, 7 if you count the 2 that are pretty much the same cabinets, just with a different primary game on the art. So there's still 2 different SKUs. But first thing we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the hints that John D dropped for us the past 2 or 3 days. So switch over here. So the first hint that he posted was more Pac-Man. Cool. More Pac-Man. Makes sense. Hint number 2, Storm. Hint number 3, Mission Control Center Forever. Hint number 4 was Game of Thrones. Hint number 5, which he deleted from his Twitter, was Mike Tyson, which made everybody think Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, which unfortunately was not one of the games. And then the last hint is 1972. That was kind of a giveaway for that particular one because there's really only one game that came out that year. So we're going to go and look at the Arcade1up site, and we're going to take a look at each of these games so that you know what's coming out. So here we are. X-Men 4-player arcade cabinet. Would we have liked the 6-player? Yes, we would have liked the 6-player. But we will make do with the 4-player because it is the X-Men machine. It is going to look kind of like the Ninja Turtle one right behind me. But we're actually getting it. We are not getting the Simpsons arcade, unfortunately. I did a video not too long ago about them kind of hinting that Dragon's Lair is coming. Here's the Dragon's Lair cabinet, which there's also Space Ace, Killer Instinct. You have the Atari Legacy Edition arcade cabinet, which the primary game is Tempest, so they are going to have a Tempest case. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Then there's the Bandai Namco Entertainment Legacy Edition arcade cabinet, which, again, it is another Pac-Man game. Yes, we know. But some of these games are going to have some online play that previous ones did not have. And then you have the Capcom Legacy Edition arcade cabinet. And then here's your number 1972 Pong 4-player pub table. Really cool looking things. First thing, X-Men 4-player arcade cabinet is not just going to have X-Men on it. There's going to be 2 other games. Yes, I know, true to Arcade1up fashion, they're releasing it with a limited amount of games. What are the other games? Well, you have Captain America and the Avengers and the Avengers and Galactic Storm. And the Storm, I was thinking initially Storm from the X-Men, which there she is in all her glory there. But it could have meant a couple of different things. Now, one cool thing that you might notice with some of these newer cabinets is it looks like they have a coin slot right on the front. Now, is that going to be a decal? Is it going to be an actual like plastic one with a little hole in there with a little bucket on the inside? I don't know. We'll probably learn more about that as time progresses. So the cool thing is that we are getting another 4-player game. So I'm sure many of you are already thinking of different ways to mod it. We know free games is not the best, but we're at least getting one that a lot of people have been screaming for. Maybe they will have an update for it and add the Simpsons arcade to it. Who knows? Next ones we're looking at is Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. First one we're going to look at is obviously Dragon's Lair. Got Dirk the Daring in there. It does have the look and feel. Now, it's going to have also 3 games. You're going to have Dragon's Lair. You're going to have Dragon's Lair 2. And you're also going to have Space Ace. Yes, these 3 games are going to be on one cabinet. Technically, they are going to be on 2 cabinets. But if you look at how it looks, though, they got 2 speakers, so it's going to have stereo sound, and it looks like they're going to be decently sized speakers, too. And then you have your scoreboard lives at the top. So it looks like it's going to be really, really nice. Same thing with your Space Ace cabinet. It is going to have the Space Ace theme, and it's going to have almost the same kind of look. It's going to have a different design than some of the other ones you're looking at, because it's got that you got your riser down here, and you have your marquee, which is kind of extending out from the actual machine, like many of the games of old. Next one, Killer Instinct Arcade. Now, a lot of people were saying that their machines couldn't run Killer Instinct or Killer Instinct 2 or anything like that. Well, this machine is being released to prove you wrong. As Killer Instinct 1, Killer Instinct 2, and 2 games that many people weren't expecting. You got Battletoads, and you got Battletoads Double Dragon. Finally going to get a Double Dragon on one of these machines. So, very excited for this one. I know I have one friend named Robert, you know who you are, that is going to be drooling over this particular machine. So, I hope you guys really are liking some of these games that they've announced. I know a couple of them probably are unexpected, but the fact of the matter is they are still going to be great additions to our home arcades. Next one, Atari Legacy Edition arcade cabinet. It is going to have that design for Tempest. Still has that little coin slot there. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's going to be an actual coin slot or if it's just going to be like a little plastic add-on or a decal. Now, what games are going to be on this? Well, since it is Legacy Edition arcade cabinet, there's going to be multiple games on here. You are going to have Asteroids, Centipede, Major Havoc, Missile Command, hence one of the hints, Aka-R, or Aka-R, Crystal Castles, Tempest, Millipede, Gravitar, Liberator, Asteroids Deluxe, and Space Duel. So there are a lot of games that are going to be on this, many of which have already been released. Yes, we already know all this. But the fact that we're getting all of these in one machine is actually going to be really cool. So keep your eyes out. We're going to do an in-depth look at this machine here a little bit later on. Next one is the Bandai Namco Entertainment Legacy Edition arcade cabinet. Has that Pac-Man look. Yes. We will do an in-depth at this one too. 12 games in one. Almost all of them have already been released, except for what looks like maybe one game. Pac-Man, Pac-Land, Pac-Man Plus, Super Pac-Man, Pac-and-Pal, Pac-Mania, Galaxing, Galaga, Dig Dug 2, and Mappy. And one more game that has not been released that I know of on any of the machines, Rompers. So they have a pretty good lineup for this particular one. It seems like they're going all legacy with many of these particular games that are actually out there. Now, the next game we are going to look at is the Capcom Legacy Edition arcade cabinet. Primarily themed for Street Fighter 2. For whatever reason, they've recessed the actual marquee so it's not near the front. Maybe they'll fix that by the time it comes out. I don't know. I've already seen a couple people complain online that it's not in the right spot. It seems that all these games that we're looking at too, all of their marquees are going to be backlit as well. So don't you guys fret about that. The upgrade is going to actually have all of this as well. So what games are in this one? Obviously Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 The World's Warriors. Turbo Hyper Fighting. The original Street Fighter. Darkstalkers, Commando, Final Fight, Ghosts and Goblins, Strider, 1944, Street Fighter II Championship Edition, and Super Street Fighter II Turbo. So you will be able to play your favorite version of Street Fighter II, of the 550 billion variations of these particular machines. So it does have that Street Fighter II look, like I mentioned. So it does look really good. This one, I know I'm definitely going to do an in-depth, so keep your eyes open for this one, guys. And the last game we're going to look at is something that many of us didn't really quite expect until we saw the 1972, and we were like, why are they going to release a Pong game? Well, because they can. Why not? Let's release a 4-player pub table to play Pong. Interesting concept, interesting idea. Very happy person there. Some of these games that they're going to be releasing are going to have online play. This one, I don't think this is actually one of the ones that's going to have online play. I think the ones you're looking at are going to be like your Street Fighter, maybe even X-Men. We'll look more into that, though. This game is not just going to have Pong on it, though. This is going to have Pong Quadra Pong, Pong Doubles, Warlords, Pong Sports, Circus Atari, Tempest. They got Tempest, and they decided they wanted to go crazy and put Tempest on everything. So it's the second machine that's going to have Tempest on it. Super Breakout as well. So really cool, different look, and would look great in anybody's actual dungeon, I guess you could say, or their mini arcade that they have in their homes, which it is already up for pre-order on at least one retailer. Again, we are going to go into that in the more in-depth look we're going to take a look at later on. But that's going to do it for right now, guys. I got a lot of editing to do, so that you guys have some really cool content when I do the in-depth look at some of these other games. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that it actually hit everything that you were hoping for? Maybe then some. One thing I did notice that wasn't shown off, though, was the stand-up Outrun cabinet. So I don't think that's been pushed back. I think because it's so close, they're not trying to build up a lot of hype about that particular game. So you noticed that too. I wasn't going to throw that one at you, but I'm bringing it up now. So hopefully you guys appreciate that, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe at the bottom, guys. I appreciate you all coming out. Like I mentioned, stay tuned for my other videos that are coming up for some of these other games. But until then, guys, until next time, game on. Hey, thanks for stopping by my channel, guys. Check out some of my other videos, or some of my other Arcade1up videos, and my other video game videos. Hopefully you